Recently, I was talking to my 18-year-old son, who is equipped with all the technology you can imagine, and I happened to mention it to him that our first house in Ireland, the phone didn't even have a dial on it. You had to wind a little handle to get through to the operator to make a phone call. He looked at me funny and he said, "Dad, that is so sad. Please don't tell my friends." Well, after a little chuckle, I reflected on that and I thought to myself, the technology has advanced massively in the last couple of decades, but there's still a problem that we're still dealing today with that we did back in the 1960s. And that is that younger employees can be hesitant to pick up the phone and talk through a problem or talk through the conflict. Instead, they prefer to just shoot emails backwards and forwards, and sometimes that can result in broken relationships. Let me give you an example. Picture a young project engineer, and he's been assigned to scope out a project with a very experienced, a 30-year experienced project engineer. He shoots an email over to the experienced project engineer outlining his concepts. The senior project engineer looks and he goes, "Oh my gosh, this guy's such a rookie." And basically he shoots back another email with a certain amount of sarcasm in it. The young project engineer looks at the email, adds some more information in there, copies a few people, shoots it off to the experienced project engineer. This goes backwards and forwards over a week with more and more people getting copied, and a festering relationship starts to raise its ugly head. After a week, the young project engineer's manager says, "Well, how are you going on this project?" And he says, "It's not going very well." And the young project engineer's manager goes, "What's wrong with the young generation? Why can't you just pick up the phone when there's the potential for multiple questions or where there's the potential for conflict?" The young project engineer, he sets up a conference call. There are numerous people on the call, and very soon you start to see things come together. There's people saying things like, "Oh, I didn't realize that we were looking at it from that angle. I see what your point is now. Yeah, we can certainly include that in this project as well without any great difficulty." So the thing we can learn from this is that anytime there's the potential for one or two questions or more, it's time to pick up the phone and talk it through with the person. The other thing is anytime there's the potential for conflict, it really is a good thing to pick up the phone again and build rapport with the person, scope out the project or whatever you're dealing with, and see if you can find some common ground that you can build. And the final thing is then, if the phone call isn't working, it is really good to do the face-to-face meeting. And the added benefit from that is, again, you build rapport, you're building respect and trust, but the big thing is that you're able to observe the non-verbal feedback from the other people around the table, and sometimes you can catch something, an expression in somebody's face that will cause you to stop and say, "Okay, maybe we're not on agreement on that. Can you just talk that out? You may have an issue on that." So again, the main thing to remember from this is if there's the potential for questions or conflict, pick up the phone, or maybe even go and visit the people one-on-one, which is preferable. My name is Dave Hill. I'll catch you next time.